sir.
Hey, Gray, congratulations on the win. Were you surprised at how dominant you were in this fight? It didn't seem like he had a shot at all in this one.
Yeah, no, not surprised. You know, again, I was kind of talking to somebody, you know, and the last time I was really on top of a person in the cage was probably Kenny Florian, which was '09. It's all been stand-up after that. It's all been, you know, ups and downs and just all kinds of craziness. This is, you know, I've had good camps the last two. The last camp was a good camp, but it was a waste of time just because I was going up against Hall. You know, he's a coward. You know, this was probably the best camp, hands down. Just all the coaches, you know, communicating, asking me how I am, like pulling back, you know, if I need to. So it really came together, you know, unbelievable. And I don't really see anybody stopping me after this.
Were you surprised you can get the finish in this one? It looked like you almost had it there, especially in the later rounds.
Yeah, no, he was doing a good job. He was slippery. He comes from a good team, and you know, the guys did some pretty good due diligence. You know, he caught me on a knee, you know, in the first, and like nothing crazy, but I could tell. I was like, oh, they're working their shit. All right, cool. So, but we really wanted to break him. We were prepared to, you know, prepared to get him tired in round one. But you know, he was pretty game. So, you know, we just kept going on that game plan.
Great. After the fight, you called out Artem Lobov.
Yeah.
What was the reason for that? Is there a particular reason why you want to fight him?
Yeah, because I don't want to, you know, go up against a Hall again. You know, that was a waste of time. That was a waste of camp. That was a waste of energy. You know, I want people that come to fight. You know, Artem does. Hats off to him, but, you know, I want to beat him. I want to beat a name. You know, I don't want the Halls anymore. You know, and I'll never take another fight that, you know, the person's a coward. You know, turning their back and running. Like, you can't fight a person that doesn't want to fight. And that was a waste of time. That was a waste of camp. You know, and everybody is like, oh, he got beat. He's done. No, I'm not done. You know, that was nothing. He didn't even punch me. He barely even punched me. I barely even punched him. There was no risk in that fight. It was a waste of time. You know, and everybody still called me out. You know, that wasn't my fault. You know, he's the bitch. He's the coward. And I'll never take a fight like that again.
Do you think people have written your secret?
Yeah, they have. But that's okay. Because every article, every tweet I see, you know, about Gray should retire, Gray should do this. All I read is what they would do if they were me. They would retire. They would quit. I don't quit. I don't quit till I win. You know, and I'm back now. I'm coming. I'm coming for all the top guys. You know, that was a waste of time against Hall. Waste of camp. Waste of energy. You know, and I had to take some time off that to get my mind right. How could it be, like, how could he beat me like that? How could he take a check from me like that? So, you know, but I got my mind right, you know, and, you know, like, ultimately, just because I'm down, I never want to quit, ever. You know, I don't want my daughter to know I quit. I don't want anybody to know, you know, and if that's what you would do, cool, but I don't do that. You know, I keep going until I'm done, until my contract's done, until I win, you know, that's it.
It's one of my favorites.
Did you feel like the finish was coming in the fight, like as the fight was progressing?
I felt like I was a lot stronger than her and a lot faster than her, so I thought that if I was going to get a finish, it'd probably be in this fight.
And, you know, you've been labeled as someone who, you know, fights a decision a lot. Did that bother you at all? Did you feel like you had to go out there and then, you know, get a finish in this one?
I didn't feel like I had to, but like I said, I feel like my change of camp, I have a little bit of different mindset. I'm more motivated again. I kind of lost track for a little bit, and I'm just excited for the future, and that high elevation definitely helped me out in Colorado.
Tisha, can you give us insight to the emotions? You say you're overwhelmed after getting the finish.
Yeah, you know, it was a tough week for me. It started off really good, and then I got here on Monday, Tuesday, found out my friend was murdered. So, like I said, I dedicated this fight to him. He was an amateur fighter and did really well. So, yeah, it's sad. He was only 25 years old, and he was taken from us.
How's it feel to have your best performance in honor of him on this big stage?
It was awesome. I really pushed forward for him tonight. The first round wasn't as active as I'd liked it to be, but the wrestling, cage work, I felt I was the more dominant fighter, and I just want to progress with every fight, and that's what I did tonight, so I feel good.
You called out Michelle Watterson. Any particular reason?
We've been wanting this fight for a while. I was scheduled to fight her before she got injured. Then she was going to fight Ashlyn Daly. Ashlyn Daly got injured. I stepped up to take that fight, and then right after that, she got injured again. So it's just been a little run around me and her, and that's what I was waiting for, the Michelle Watterson fight. He said in August I'd get the fight possibly, but I hadn't heard anything, and it's already almost July, so I was like, man, just give me the fight, please. I heard that Amanda got out, so he waited a couple of days to tell me, so I was like, come on, please, I need to buy plane tickets, and he gave me the fight, so I was really happy.
Have you ever had to go through adversity like this in a fight? You know, something as tragic as this, as your friend passing away?
No, this is the first time. It really hit home because, like I said, he was there for me at my end of my amateur career. He actually had his own show, too. He did some local promotions, and I fought my last amateur fight on his show, so he was a good friend. We hadn't talked in a while, but nonetheless, whenever we would reconnect, we'd be together, and he was a great supporter of me always.
Tisha, what was his full name?
Aaron Rodgman. Yeah, and he was out of American Top Team.
Can you take us through the submission, the shoot when she grabbed the single? Wasn't tight enough, or how do you?
Well, in practice, actually, when the girls get my, because I fight both stances, whatever leg they get, I tend to really get around, get my hook in. Jiu-jitsu terminology I'm not the best at, but I just know I'm like a little monkey and I'm tiny and I'm really fast, so I just got my hook in and I got the choke in. I heard my coaches say, calm down, because I didn't want to wear out my arm, so I calmed down and I just made sure the submission was where it needed to be, and then I tightened it.
You've got all your nails painted except for the one your ring finger's on. Has the silver any particular meaning?
Because I got a blingy ring here from Raquel, so I like it.
How much has that support meant to you throughout this, all that you've been going through, and especially with what happened when they're in?
It's been awesome training with Raquel. I mean, we have one-on-one training with our coaches, and it's just basically us two, and then we have another girl, Sharon Jacobson, out of Invicta, and then I actually got to train with JJ Aldridge, who fought Juliana Lima last time. She's from Denver, so all those girls have been a big help. And then I spar my coaches and get to beat up them, especially my coach Juan. He lets me beat them up.
Having Denver as the new home base, I mean, how much has that transition at all affected you or helped you?
It's helped me a lot. The high altitude training is definitely great. I was at sea level in Florida, so I really like it. I've been there since the beginning of May now when I graduated, got my master's. That's what I was waiting for to graduate school, and now I'm here full time, focusing on fighting again full time. So I'm just really excited for what the future's to bring, and having Raquel there to train with me by my side, and I'm just excited for her to come back from her injuries and her surgeries.
Let's say you do get the Michelle Watterson fight. When would you like to fight her ideally? What would be like perfect timeline for her?
I'd fight her as early as late August. That'd get me right back into fight camp, I guess maybe 6 weeks once I get home, and so I have some vacations to go on after this and celebrate my anniversary. So.
Would you want to fight in Canada on that Edmonton card?
When is that?
That's in September. It's like early September.
I wouldn't mind Canada. I just don't really like going too far overseas. But Canada feels like U.S., so.
Yeah.
What did you get your master's in?
Criminology.
And what do you hope that leads to?
Right now, I hope to gain a title shot soon, by the end of the year. But eventually, one day, if I do go into the field, it'd be in the government field. So FBI, DEA, something like that would be my ultimate dream job. But as of right now, I just want to fight, and Raquel and I are planning on opening a gym next year or so.
And just from afar, looking at your social media, it seems like a lot of good things are happening as far as your personal life is concerned, engagement and graduation. Do you feel like all of those things sort of led to you getting this finish, that it's all kind of coming together between your personal life, which leads to your professional life?
Yeah, I feel like for a long time I had everything going for me, the fighting, the school, but my love life had always been kind of a now it's on a good track on the way up. So I feel like all around I have good people around me, genuine people, and it's just going to go up from here, and I really want to work on, I'm always aggressive, but I felt like that first round I was just in the moment. I really want to be able to be aggressive from start to finish, and I haven't been able to do that yet, but I do feel really happy with my performance tonight.
Since you had been, since you had been in ATT for so long, was that difficult?
At the end of the day, has to take the title, and I already got best dressed on the show, so now I'm going to take best look.
James, thoughts on the performance? You went out there and obviously dominated this fight. Is that how you kind of expected things to go in this one?
Yeah, I mean, Tom's tough. I always look for the finish, and I think if you guys have ever interviewed me before, everybody here knows that I try to be exciting. I'm an entertainer. I'm not a fighter. I'm an entertainer. I come out and I try to entertain the crowd. I would much rather lose an exciting fight than win a boring one. And I'm disappointed in certain aspects of the fight. I just felt like he was doing a really good job. I threw a kick early, caught it, took me down, got my back, and everybody's going crazy. He's not the only black belt in the UFC. But he is dangerous there, and I have to respect that. So, once again, it just goes back to I want to entertain, I want to be exciting, and it kind of sucked because I wasn't able to take the risks that I normally would like to. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, I figured he would hang around and take some of those shots. I did not think he would take all of them, though. I thought I would finish him. I hit him with a couple flush head kicks. I hit him with a couple flush knees right on the button, and for most people, it's lights out, but not for Tom. He's a savage. He keeps coming forward. And I got all the respect in the world for him.
And how much credit does this win go to your team at Factory X you've been working with? It seems like you've really sort of evolved since you started training there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously my home gym, Glory Remain Fitness, but I mean, I want to give all my credit to improvement to Mark Montoya at Factory X in Denver. I think there's in the game of training, I think there's good training partners, and training partners are a dime a dozen. You can find good training partners, and you don't have to have somebody in the UFC to train with every day. And I think there's good coaches. I think good coaching is a dime a dozen, and I really do believe that. And I think where people are missing the mark is I think very rare is there's a diamond in the rough when you find good leadership. And I think with Mark at Factory X, I think that's what I've found, the missing piece of the puzzle. And I'm a leader in my gym, but Mark has really done a good job of taking the general role. And whenever I go to battle, not just with him, but with Tim Elliott, LC Davis, I have such an awesome corner. So it's when these guys ask me to do something, it's easy for me to just do it. You know what I mean? So I respect all these guys to the utmost level. So whenever they say something, it's how high for me. You know what I mean?
How do you feel at 170? Is that where you want to stay?
How did I look at 170?
It looked like you had a healthier gut, like you weren't.
Yeah, 55 is hard for me to make. 55, I'm walking around probably 190-ish when I'm training, and I don't stop training. I'm always in the gym, so 190 is hard to make to 55. It takes probably 2 solid months, 6 weeks tough. But I have my 12-year-old sister lives with me now, and I have a 2-year-old daughter. So my quality of life at home it's not there, And I really enjoy spending time with them. I want to be able to take them out to eat whenever I want. And 70, I still cut 15 pounds to make 70. So it's not like I'm just walking in at 170. I bet I was 190 pounds when I fought tonight. So.
How excited was your family when you came back from the Ultimate Fighter? I mean, you've got quite a brute there. What's that been like for you emotionally?
Yeah, it's tough. It's. I said this before. The Ultimate Fighter is what you make of it. If you go on that show with a shitty attitude, and you don't have any goals set, you don't have any aspirations other than to win that show, you're going to lose. And I went in there with goals. I had multiple goals, and I know the best fighter doesn't always win that show. It's been proven time and time again. And the #1 pick and all that shit, that goes out the window. None of that matters there. That show is a different beast. And I was battling staph infection, which if any of you guys, that I had staph infection when I fought Jesse. Didn't know about it. I was in the hospital the next day after fighting him. My eye was jacked. But these aren't excuses. This is the Ultimate Fighter. That's why it's such a beast. So, I was happy to be home, and it's a different animal. You know what I mean? Being away from your family, no contact, no communication. You have to be headstrong. So I went in that show with goals and aspirations, regardless if I won or lost, and I'm definitely taking advantage of those. I'm getting a lot of opportunities. I'm getting a lot of exposure. I mean, look at you guys right here. You know what I mean? I don't think I've never seen a line like this ever, outside of any of my other wins. So, my goal is accomplished.
How did it work, James, as far as Reebok fights? Because you're not wearing Reebok. Does it count?
Yeah. Hey, we had some fucking problems with that. We got it fixed though. They took care of me.
So what did you do? What was the issue, and how did you fix it?
Well, the issue is like when you're on the show, you're technically not a Reebok sponsored athlete. You're not really a UFC athlete yet. You know what I mean? So they sign you for a one-off. I was already on contract though, so the issue is they wanted me to wear the Ultimate Fighter stuff, which I was fine with, but I still want to get paid the Reebok money, which they made it right, and they said, hey, you'll still get your Reebok money. But that was for a small minute, that was not a problem, but it potentially could have been. But we nipped it in the butt. The UFC took care of me like they should have.
So all the fights on the show, do they count?
They do not count.
But this one does?
I don't even believe this one does, but I still get paid for I'm not sure about this one. I know the ones on the show do not count. I'm 50-50 on this one. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I know whenever I signed the contract, it basically said from filming. And they said, well, you're not going to get your Reebok money. I said, look, I signed a contract that basically says, hey, from start to end, this is way past filming. You know what I mean? We're in July. That was March 1 that we ended filming, I think. So they did the right thing. They took care of me, though.
And I had heard, inaccurate.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you said.
You're going to keep going.
Look, man, I'm a businessman, and I'm an entertainer, and as long as this sport is making me happy, I'm in a different position than a lot of these guys. I don't need to fight. And people say that's not a good thing, blah, blah. I don't give a shit what people say. I like to compete. I'm a competitor. I compete in business. I compete here. And as long as this is a good business venture for me, I'm going to keep fighting. I love to fight. I love to compete. I don't have any reason. I'm on a 3-fight win streak in the UFC. I don't have any reason to quit right now. If for some reason this stops being fun to me, I got no problem walking away from it yesterday. So I love to compete, and I'm still improving. You know, I've been in this game for 11 years. I have over 50 fights, amateur and pro. And with marking, we're still getting better every day. So, I mean, I don't see any reason for me to quit. I don't see any reason for me to even talk about it quite yet.
Okay. This is a new weight class for you. Who do you want to fight next? Do you have in mind just being at 170 now?
Yeah, it's kind of a talk for us. We were not really sure. 55 is difficult, man, and 70 it's not hard, but it's not easy either. So I don't really know. I think we're gonna try one at 170. And I talked to Sean and I said, hey man, like, give me some fun matchups. You know, don't give me some bullshit ass wrestler that's gonna try to land me. Give me fun. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an entertainer. I don't give a shit about rankings, title, all that bullshit. You guys can criticize me all you want. I don't care about that shit. I want to make money and I want to entertain. Now, if that means me climbing up the ladder on the way, then let's do it. You know what I mean? But I want to be in fun fights. You know what I mean? And I hope I entertained tonight. I think I did. I hope I did my job. But it takes two to tango, ultimately. But I think we're going to try 170 and see what that looks like. If they can give us an exciting matchup, I'd love to do that. If not, then I'll make my way back to 155. The cut's a little bit easier now. When I was in the hospital for a couple weeks, I lost a lot of weight. I lost probably 15 pounds in there. So it made the cut a little bit easier. But you know, I should say my walk weight's a little bit lower. I haven't cut to 55 in almost 2 years though. So.
Who's two is 170 like a tango? Would think it'd be an exciting fight?
Say it again.
Who's two people that you think your style matchup with for?
Positions where I lost in the past, I started to get that anxiety. I'm like, oh God, I gotta get out of here. So yeah, that's definitely helped me improve. I feel like I'm gonna have one up on the girls who have a similar record as mine, just because they haven't fought the quality of opponents that I fought in the past.
How big a deal is to make a run, and who do you want next?
How big what?
How big a deal is to make a run in the division, and who do you want next?
Oh, I definitely want to make a run. Like, that's why I came back, you know. But I think with this fight, I saw. I guess I have to watch it again. But I felt like I could have done a lot better. So, you know, the more experience that I get this year, next year, the more confident I'm going to be when I do make that run. And, you know, the most important thing for me is just to get back in there as soon as possible.
And as far as the next opponent, I know you kind of poked fun at Paige Van Zandt for that video. Is she someone you want to fight, especially since you beat your team?
Yeah, I poked fun at her, but people blew that out of proportion. But yeah, I'd totally fight her. Like, I've called her out. I've called out JoJo. I've called out, who else? I've called out everyone. I feel like I poked a lot of fun at Tisha after she beat me. You know, I try to only poke fun at people who I can actually fight. But there's a lot of people out there who could get it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Critical of, you know, the way the UFC's been kind of giving her a push, as opposed to some of the other fighters who've been, you know, winning and everything else. You know, do you feel like this is the type of fight that, you know, the UFC could make to kind of be like, hey, let's make this a sport?
What, me and Van Zandt?
Yeah, if you guys, yeah, it seems like a good match.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna get it. I'll totally fight her though. Like, that'd be fun. I think be a fun fight. That's what they like to call Van Zandt fights. Fun fights.
Why do you know?
Why not?
Why don't you think it's gonna happen?
Because I'll punch her in the face, and then that's like her thing, having a nice face. But yeah, yeah.
You think she's more model than fighter?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. She's actually a lot tougher than people give her credit for. You know, she's kind of like Yoder in the sense where she's really scrappy and she doesn't stop. Like, she doesn't quit. So I think it's easier to actually tap Van Zant and to knock her out because she kind of does those like boosh and then comes forward again. So yeah, I think it would be a good fight. I think I'd win that fight. But you know, it's really up to the UFC to see whose names I get to pick from, and you know, I'll pick whoever's the most popular one and fight them.
Where would you put yourself in the top 5, top 10? Where would you rank yourself?
I don't know. I think I'd rank myself higher after my last fight, but after this one, I feel like I had a lot of little things I could have improved on. So I don't know. The rankings are random. Like I don't know, 12, 30. I don't know.
Could you
Whatever.
explain what happened with the Catwoman costume?
Catwoman. Oh my God. Aren't you supposed to be like some kind of nerd yourself?
I'm not a nerd.
Oh no, WWE nerd or something, right?
It's like Black Panther, like
Black Panther, like the Marvel character,
never heard of it.
the black one.
Sorry.
It's awesome. It's really awesome. They're making a movie, and there's been a lot of hype for it, I guess, in my world. So I was really excited to dress up as that. I felt like you know, it'd be cool to represent the movie coming out, and just it's an awesome character. He's a king of his tribe in Wakanda. Is like this like ancient African tribe that has all this. It has like a really great natural resource. I think it's the same thing Iron Man's suit's made out of, vibranium, I think. Yeah. See? Hey, nerd, high five. He's the richest superhero in Marvel, but no one knows his name, man. It's the struggle. So, so I thought it'd be cool to dress up as him and, you know, rep the movie. And, you know, I have a lot of fun dressing up as different characters for my weigh-ins. It kind of just gets me in the mood to fight and, like, lets me, like, take on this character that I bring into the cage. So, yeah, that's what that was about.
You brought the costume and they said no?
Yeah, they were hounding me because of my Sagat thing that I did last time.
Okay.
So they're like, is there anything that you're planning to do? Anything you're going to wear? Any extra non-Reebok? And, like, I thought about not telling them, but then I told them. And they told me no at the last minute.
Were they unhappy with the guy?
I don't think they were unhappy. It was just they didn't know. So I think they just wanted to know what was going to happen so they could not let it happen.
They'll let you keep wearing them. You just got to clear it beforehand?
Yeah. Like a lot of people give them what they're going to do or planning on doing, and then they say yes or no. So.
But since you told them before, they still said no?
Yeah, they said not approved. I think it was probably like a copyright thing or something, but who knows? What's that?
Just have your costume and just put Reebok on the costume.
I know, right? Reebok man. I could be Reebok woman. Just have a big like triangle head. Maybe that's what I'll do next time. Triangle head girl.
Did you dress up as the character?
What's
Or
that?
was this something you just did on your own? Like, was it a sponsorship thing?
No, it's
did
just
on your
something I've been doing for a while.
Because I saw that you tagged Marvel and stuff on Twitter. Did they?
Yeah.
did
I
you
just
hear-
tagged him to like get him to look at it. Hey guys, this is like when trolls tag you and shit. Like,
Did you get anything back?
I no, but we'll see. I got a lot of likes, you know,
Sure.
so it was cool that I was at least able to get people to see it. So that was cool.
How important are these costumes to brand yourself and create this unique identity?
Yeah, you know, I was happy I was able to build that kind of identity in Invicta. And it was cool to see the difference between like, you know, I did it like 4 times in Invicta. It got a little bit of play, but when I did that one in the UFC, the Sagat one, like people went crazy. So it just kind of showed me how expansive the UFC machine is, like the UFC media machine is, and I was hoping that I'd be able to do the same thing again, but you know, unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. So I don't know. It'd be nice if they were able to like, you know, lax on it a bit, just so the fighters could try to build some hype for it, because I feel like doing something interesting like that is going to get you, is going to reach more people than just trying to mean mug and push your opponent and hit them before you're actually fighting the next day, or at least different fans from that. So yeah, it'd be nice, but you know, you gotta play the game and do what you're told and all that fun, boring stuff.
So does that mean the next time that comes around, you're not gonna pitch another costume?
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I just won't tell him. No.
Keep up with it though. Like, let's say you're with Black Panther with the collar, the headpiece, all of that, and the Reebok shirt. Like, would they approve that?
I have no idea. I think I need to like call somebody and actually have a conference with them and be like, "Hey guys, I want to do something fun, but you guys keep saying no. So what should I do?" So yeah, maybe if I'll try to do that and I'll get back to you guys, let you know how it went.
What was your walkout song?
Congratulations on the win. Obviously, big fight being on International Fight Week. How happy were you with your performance in this fight?
I won. Happy.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Yeah, the main thing is just getting the win. But was there any added pressure with it being on International Fight Week?
No, dude. I'm sure I've said it with you. We've done some interviews together, but it's all the same. Fight's a fight. Parking lot here in New York. Madison Square Garden. Dressing room. Doesn't matter. It's a fight.
What about him as an opponent? Did anything sort of surprise you tonight in the cage?
No. I got a really good coach, Tony Palafox. He watched everything. He told me what was up, and everything he said is what happened. Saw everything. Dude was kind of slow. Horrible. I mean, I don't want to, dog on him, but we had a good. I knew what was going to happen, and what happened is what happened. So.
How about that post-fight speech? What happened there?
It was a good speech. What are you talking about?
Do you like sort of hyping the fans up and sort of giving post-fight speeches? Is that your thing, or
no?
Are you part of things?
My debut kind of bombed it. Sam started talking. I didn't respond with a what up. That's why I threw the what up. This one, a whole bunch of people would pick up on it. And then being that I fought a Brazilian, I'm an American. I missed out on 4th of July. 4th of July is my favorite holiday. Wanted to get a USA chance. Some people were there for me. Some weren't. A little disappointed. Some people really happy. Some people. So.
Are you usually this sort of nonchalant after your fights? It doesn't seem like you're all that pleased or excited or.
No, dude, I'm happy. I'd be pissed if I lost. I didn't lose. I won. I'm happy. So.
Imagine smiling when you say you're happy.
I'm happy. Two checks. So.
What do you like looking back? Is there anything that you wish you would have done a little differently that you were unhappy with?
Again, not to dog on him, but it was like, it was an easy fight. There was no reason to go out of first gear. I don't know what the judges were seeing. They gave him a round, right? It was 29-28.
I think so.
He did not win a round. He didn't do anything in that fight. I literally didn't do anything. Look at me, like, I don't know.
Oh, that's not about you. That's about him. So you think it was a flawless performance?
So where I was going is, I wish maybe I should have taken it out because it was like I was saying, it was an easy fight. I'm not trying to dog on him, so I just stayed in first gear. I just kept doing what I was doing. There was no reason to crank it up because I could just do what I was doing and win the fight. Maybe if I go back, maybe have cranked it up a little bit.
Okay.
I just kind of went in there and just won the fight. Maybe looking back, I'll watch the tape of, probably should have just cranked it up and just went in there and whooped his ass, which I did do, but whooped it worse.
Sure.
So.
You've kept the undefeated record intact. The light heavyweight division is wide open right now. What do you want after this? Again, you could be a couple fights away from a title shot potentially, just because the division just is.
Well, that's it. We're gonna figure out what's the next step to get me to that title shot, and that's what we're gonna do.
Do you want like a veteran, like a name, like as far as the next opponent?
Possibly. I'm gonna talk to my management. I'm gonna talk to my coach, and we're gonna figure it out. We were kind of bullshitting last night, kind of looking at the route to the title, but I'm sure I'm pretty active online. So.
Yeah,
that you are. What's the first step on that route?
I just said we're gonna talk about it, and I'll let you know. I'm pretty active on my social media. So.
Yeah. How are you celebrating tonight? It's a big win, especially in Vegas.
Yeah, no comment. Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
So.
Good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's just his personality. He's just very like.
No way that Demetrius is going to accept the fight. They've offered him a lot of money, I was told, and that he just won't budge. That there's nothing he's going to do to take that fight. So there's no reason for me to cut to 125s. I mean, within 3 weeks, I was waking up at 140 pounds. You know, I was doing everything right. I was training my butt off and eating right, and it was exciting to see the transformation of my body that fast. So it's definitely a possibility, but unfortunately, he did not want the fight.
So is the plan now to wait for Cody to heal up?
Yes, the plan is to wait for Garbrandt and get that belt.
Was there any thought of you just taking a number 1 contender fight at 125, or is it just title or nothing?
Oh, I think first and foremost, I wanted to fight for the belt. I mean, it was the right time for the Demetrius fight. I felt like as well, but it just didn't really work out.
Now that Tough is over,
yeah.
I mean, you can really kind of talk about the filming and like all the things, the antics that happened throughout that. How much of really just depleting was that on you?
It was emotionally draining. Yeah, I was definitely tired going to and from after coming home. It was exhausting 6 weeks, and I think no matter what, even just coaching guys for 6 weeks would have been exhausting. But just the drama added on top of it was a lot to deal with. A lot of true colors were shown, and ultimately, I'm glad I did it, but I didn't want to do the show. I didn't want to coach the show because of that reason, but I knew that was the way I was going to get my shot, was to coach Ultimate Fighter.
Now having to go back, but you had the surgery, and now you have to go through this process all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is that? How do you anticipate that going? I mean,
you just got to keep a smile on your face and just keep trucking. And there's nothing I can really do about it. Just push for the goal, and goals for me to be on top.
What has been the reception like on the show? Because I think from a coaching standpoint, you look like you were doing your job, and it seemed like you came across really well on the show.
Yeah, from the fans and from what I've heard, it seems like it's come across very, very well. Like I said, I feel like some true colors have come out, and I said that before the show even started. Like, what's your expectations for the show? And that was kind of it. That I've always wanted to coach the Ultimate Fighter ever since I've been on it, and since I've been successful in the UFC. That was something I've wanted a goal of mine to do. When I was told I was going to coach against Cody and Team Alpha Male, I didn't want to do it.
Right.
But like I said, that was the only way I was going to get my title fight, and I wasn't going to pass up the opportunity. But I'm glad I gutted it out and did it.
Where's training camp for you now? Because I know Colorado, you were there. There's the Muscle Farm thing that's no longer a thing. Were you in California now? Where are you for training camp?
I'm both. I'm still in Colorado. My file has just got done today. Finished it out today, so we're going to move in this weekend. I'm still living out in Colorado, training with Dwayne out there. Elevation Fight Team still exists. So Muscle Farm was sponsoring the team. Yeah. They just cut the sponsorship, and so it's still Elevation Fight Team out there. I'm doing some training out there as well as cross training in Southern California and working with some new trainers down there. I got a new strength conditioning coach, Sam Calavita, out of the training lab. The guy's been amazing. He's made some big gains with me, and I've been real impressed with it, as well as coming along and working with Felipe De La Monica at Gracie Baja, Mark Munoz at Kings MMA, and Daryl Christian, and so many guys that have been adding to my game down in Southern California. Kind of almost build my own little team down there,
It seems like it. Like training partners, who are some of the people, like notable fighters that you've been working with down in California?
Juan Archuleta, which was supposed to actually fight tomorrow, which I don't know if the fight's actually going to happen now, because
that's right,
Vince was 8 pounds overweight, so I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm actually waiting to hear about that.
Team Alpha Male guy too.
Yeah, came in 8 pounds overweight. It was ridiculous. And then Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico is one of the guys I've been training with. He's an animal. Unfortunately, his debut didn't go the way he wanted it to, but the kid's got a very bright future. Working with Raja, he's got a big fight coming up. John Tuck, he's a little heavier than I am, but working with RDA and some guys like that. Just getting some movement in. We got some smaller guys that are up and coming as well.
You talked about a lot of surprises for you on the Ultimate Fighter show. Was Danny Castillo kind of coming at you, and Justin Buchholz one of those?
I feel like that was the biggest surprise to me. Those are the guys I was the closest with at Alpha Male. We were friends, like real good friends. Danny actually came out and was living with me in Colorado before he got cut from the UFC, and we were boys, And so I always thought at least he'd have my back a little bit, or maybe not be involved with it as much. But yeah, that was the most surprising, is that I had some friends that kind of, when the cameras turned on, were more about building their names up than actually being a true friend.
Have you talked to any of them since?
I talked to him the night the show ended, when we all went out that night. Kind of had a little heart-to-heart then, but no, I haven't spoken with him since.
Do you think that's the cameras, or do you think that's them actually, just trying to support their team, kind of them going after you?
A little bit of both, I mean, I know it's a way to build his name, because Buchholz was real disrespectful to Dwayne too during the show, and there's no way I feel like he'd be like that in person, And I think it was a way to try to build some drama between him and Dwayne, and really hype up his own name as a coach, and trying to feed off Dwayne as being Coach of the Year, and trying to get him, push him for himself. He's really trying to hype up his own name, how he's this greatest coach, and So the drama was going to hype their name up, as well as this is their job now. You know, their job is to be behind their team, and their team has to hate me now, I guess. So
how's Dwayne dealing with all this? Because he came across, he was just just sitting there taking it. He doesn't seem like a confrontational guy. How's he doing with the everything that happened on the show?
Oh, it's definitely something he doesn't want to deal with. Drama's not his thing. He's kind of one of those guys that he's 0 from 100. So you piss him off, he's probably going to be a fist fight. So he kind of had to pull himself back a little bit. He did a real good job. I got a little nervous there when it started getting down with him. I thought things were going to get heated. I know I can control myself, but when it started hashing out on Dwayne, I thought it was going to get a little ugly.
Did you watch Uriah's acceptance speech?
I missed it, actually, no. But, I mean, the guy definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, And it was cool to see Joseph Benavidez was the one that gave the speech for it, too. So.
Did you happen to see the UFC Legends panel?
No, I did not.
Boss Rutten gave Dwayne a lot of love and said, he's one of the best coaches in the game right now, and the rest of the panel actually kind of agreed that, he's doing great things. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's a student of the game. He is addicted to being a good coach, and not only just for fighters, like even just for, if you go and watch his cardio kick, the average Joes are coming in and working, like he's giving them so much attention. Like you can tell he loves what he does, and it goes a long ways when a fighter, I mean, not only a fighter, but also just someone coming off the streets gets that attention from him,
I've got a question about the one of the pranks in the house, the snakes.
Mm.
Was that an original idea, or did they kind of set that up just for
that was original. I wanted to do it from the beginning, but I kind of waited because I knew that if I would have started the pranks, it would have gone all season long, and I didn't want to have to look over my shoulder the entire time.
Where'd you borrow all the snakes from?
We just looked up a local snake wrangler, and they luckily had a bunch of snakes and brought them all in, and I actually had to carry some of them in there, and I'm really afraid of snakes, so it wasn't something I was really comfortable doing. I mean, it wrapped up around my arm, and I just waited for him to come off my arm. I didn't want to let go of it,
After the heart-to-heart that you had, does that mean that you guys are good now? How did it end up?
I wouldn't say that. It was just kind of, I spoke my true feelings, and they kind of spoke theirs as well. I wouldn't say they were good, or it's tough to say. Alcohol was involved as well too, so everyone's able to talk when they start drinking. But
was Cody there?
No.
Okay, so it was with.
It was with just Danny and Justin.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just hanging out with the fighters. I'll go out and celebrate the night of the fight. After the season's over. It was just us two late at night, just kind of hashing it out. Buckle seemed a little more standoffish, but Danny was willing to kind of speak his feelings with me.
And I know that you were close to obviously the whole DJ thing, and it became this public drama.
Yeah.
Is there any part of you that understands where he's coming from when he was talking about respect? Because you were there too, right? Not that long ago, you said that you felt like you were being looked over, passed over and stuff. And on the mic, you said this thing is rigged if I don't get the title shot.
Yeah.
And here's a guy who's saying I just want some respect. I want to be told what the plans are. Did you sympathize with him at all? If you took yourself out of the equation of trying to get the fight?
To an extent, but the fact is he's fighting Ray Borg. So me getting leaped over was a way bigger leap over than me leaping over Ray Borg to fight Demetrius Johnson. Cody was ranked number 8, and I was beating number 1 contenders. Ray Borg's missed weight half his UFC career and has beaten the two guys are they even in the top 10? I don't really know what his credentials are to get that title fight. I feel like mines were a lot higher. Even though I haven't even fought at the weight class, like I said, I feel like it was a perfect time for me to jump into the weight class because it wasn't like I was cutting the line. Demetrius has ran through everyone. Ray Borg, I don't feel like is a deserving contender in my eyes.
So let's say you fight Cody, you beat Cody, you become champion. Would you then consider going down to 125 and trying to do a champion versus champion fight, or are you done with that idea?
No, it's never done. It's definitely something I'm interested in. The one guy I don't want to jump in front of, which I think I've been very voiceless about this entire time, is Joseph Benavidez. I know he's got to come back. He's doing a knee injury right now, and coming back from that, I'm sure he'll probably have to take a fight, not just obviously instantly get a title shot. So as long as I'm not jumping in front of Joseph, I feel like he's been on a 6 or 7 fight win streak, fighting number 1 contenders, Henry Cejudo, and he would be the guy in my eyes that was deserving of the title shot, but he's injured.
Is there any talk of MSG for you and Cody in November?
Last I heard, it was talking to Shelby, hopefully October. It was maybe September at the earliest, but most likely October. Okay. But then I hear Cody talking in interviews that he's not going to be fighting until earliest as November, maybe December. So this whole year for me has kind of been in limbo. It's kind of been a little frustrating. Coach an Ultimate Fighter, not fighting, maybe fighting DJ, not fighting DJ, hopefully fighting Cody again, and now don't know when.
How long are you willing to wait?
You
have to make make money at some point, right?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah, I mean, this is how I make my money.
Yeah.
But you know, I guess first and foremost, I think I want that belt. You know, I'm willing to wait for him.
Okay.
You know, that's a fight I'm willing to wait for. I don't know. You know, I can't wait forever though too. So you are right. I mean, I got to sit down and maybe have a little more serious conversation. I just heard an interview that Cody did. I think it was yesterday or the day before, where I heard he wouldn't fight till November, December, and I was hoping October. So it's something I definitely need to sit down and have a talk with the main man. You know, see what's going on.
Do you know how much? Do you know how much money they offered DJ?
No, I don't. No, he didn't really tell me business. He told me it's more than he's ever seen. So I don't know.
What do you think, from your perspective, was the mistake that led to Pico losing, and did you have a conversation with him afterwards? Did you give him any advice?
He's been on vacation since the fight. He gets back on Monday. Gets back to training. You know, maybe I think maybe it was just too big of a rush to get that win. You know, all the lights, all the hype. His first fight ever in Madison Square Garden, kind of going out there and closing the distance, maybe a little bit too fast. You know, especially a veteran. Take your time, feel it out, get used to the cage, use your feints. I know he's got to respect your wrestling, so take advantage of that. But no, I haven't had time to really sit down and talk with him yet. You know, it wasn't like I was able to be his coach this camp or nothing. I was just a training partner of his. We did a lot of sparring together, and the kid's an animal. So hopefully I get to do a little bit more of helping him out and getting ready for his next fight, because I know he's got a very bright future, and I'd love to do whatever I can to help him out.
And how do you divide your time? Because your home is in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
The Kings MMA is in Southern California.
Mhm.
So how are you, like, for an actual fight camp, what are you going to do?
That's something I guess I've been trying to figure out, you know. That's why Dwayne was traveling to Southern California for me. We were doing my camp. My plan was to do my camp in Southern California for the Cody fight, and then when Cody pulled out, the Demetrius fight it was going to continue. The new strength and conditioning coach I started working with, Sam Calavita, has been someone that I highly respect, and someone that's done a lot of great things with my body and some of the gains that I've already made working under him. And so I've been trying to do whatever I can to be down there, as well as bring my team with me. So Dwayne's been willing enough to come down, you know, 3-4 days out of the week and come and train. So I've been kind of getting the same feel. But now that the fight's up in limbo, you know, go back to Colorado, train back there, kind of jump back and forth and feel what's right. You know, I think what's really pushed me to the next level is how many coaches I get involved in my career, and how many people that, like when I went up to TriStar and learned a lot from Faraz, you know, I feel like I gained a lot from working out with his team and him as well. Traveling to Kings MMA, Gracie Baja, traveling the country and learning from the best is what's going to push me to that next level, is what I believe.
Some wine.
Oh, I'm predicting Mayweather's just too smart. He's too defensively smart for McGregor. You know, I don't think McGregor's got the cardio for him, and Mayweather's just going to point fight him and be smart about it. You know, and McGregor's a lot bigger than he is, but the distance is different. You know, I think Mayweather's just too smart.
But you're interested in it? You'll watch it?
I'll be interested in all the drama. You know, I mean, it's kind of a circus fight, but yeah, I mean, it's good for the sport, man. I mean, it brings a lot of attention. You know, he's bringing a lot of attention to the world of MMA, and hopefully bringing that money with it too. You know.
Thank you.
TJ, after the fight with Cody's over, are you hoping to revisit the heart-to-heart with those guys, and you think it'll be easier to settle that after the fight's done? Is that something you want to do again? Or
I kind of feel like the ball's in their court, really. You know, I mean, I haven't really done too much of trying to backlash and badmouth them for the most part. You know, I've kind of stayed as professional as I can with defending myself. You know, it's kind of like if they're going to stop attacking me. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's in their court. You know, I mean, I haven't really gone and looked for the rivalry. I haven't really gone to look to make enemies. You know, so I've kind of been put in that position. I'm not trying to play the victim, but that's just kind of the way that I see it.
But that's something that hopefully would happen.
Yeah. Shit to each other nonstop, and then nobody really realized what was going on, and then they kind of realized. But I mean, they were talking shit and pissing each other off, but they weren't trying to fight each other at the moment.
Let's talk about your win, Brad. Impressive victory over Elias Theodoro. He's a tough guy that people have had trouble figuring out. What was sort of the game plan going into this fight? Do you feel like you executed it?
You know what? We knew that going in. It's one of those things. Elias is one of those guys, very awkward in his style, but it works for him. It's hard to figure out his timing and tap into his rhythm because he keeps changing it up. But that's something that we had prepared for. The one thing that I didn't really expect for him, but I made that change, was I really haven't seen him take like that traditional like wrestling shooting from the outside. He'll usually throw some crazy kicks, some punches, switch stance, you know, try to confuse his opponent and then close the distance, grab him, try to push him to the cage, which he tried to do to me, but that I knew. The shooting part though, as soon as I saw him shoot in the first round, you know, I reacted and I knew that that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to try and close it up. He didn't want to strike too much and just get the fight to the ground.
He was kind of poking fun at you leading up to this fight. Did that bother you at all, him doing that stuff?
No, you know what? I was like, whatever, dude. You know, like some guys, they feel like they gotta run their mouth, but I issued him that challenge, and even right after they read the decision, I went up to him jokingly, and I was like, hey, let's shave that head now. And he was like, no, fuck no. But no, you know, he was talking a lot of shit leading up to it, and me, I'm the type of guy like, hey, we're gonna get in that cage, and then we'll let our fists do the talking, but I already knew that, you know, he wasn't about it because as soon as I seen him yesterday at the weigh-ins, he came up to me and was like, hey, best of luck tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. Which, you know, we do between fighters. This is a sport. It's a mutual respect, but you just don't expect something like that when somebody's running their mouth and then you see them. But, you know, nothing. We fought is what it is. You know, I wish him the best in whatever comes next for him, his hair or whatever shampoo or tampon ads or I don't know, whatever he wants to do.
Do you want to see him cut? Like, are you expecting him to cut his hair? Wasn't that the deal?
Nah, he didn't agree to it. He tried to make me say, put up your whole purse for me to cut my hair. And I was like, buddy, your fucking hair ain't worth that much. Get the fuck out of here. But no, I really did want to just like, even yesterday I was standing behind him and I was like, how fucking funny would that be if I just like buzzed his head? But then he'd probably try to sue me. And he'd probably win because he has like some fucking sponsorship for his hair.
Plus, yeah.
What the fuck? What fighter does that? That is not a girl. But no, I'm not trying to talk shit about the guy. He was a very tough fight, I ain't gonna lie. Real gritty guy, durable, just like we expected.
Yeah, you almost finished him later in the fight. Were you surprised that you couldn't get the finish on him?
No, because I don't think we've ever seen Elias get finished. I did want that finish and I was looking for it, but he was listening to his corner pretty well. They were telling him what to do. You know, we were closer to his corner, and he responded well, and he was able to escape the rear naked attack.
What's next for you after this? Middleweight division's a bit wide open at the moment. Bisping, you know, not defending his title yet.
Let's go, Michael Bisping.
Yeah.
But nah, whatever comes next. You know, like I said, I don't really pay attention to rankings too much. But somebody made mention to me that Elias was number 15. And I just beat him, so that should put me back in the top 15. So, you know, I read it was about a venue thing, so I don't know. Hopefully they get it figured out. They've had gymnasium fights in Brazil with like 5,000 people, so why not do it, you know, at the Blaisdell, Stan Sheriff, or wherever they need to do it. BJ Penn is a friend. I love that guy, you know. To me, he's done enough for the sport, but I understand why he keeps doing it. You know, growing up in Hawaii, especially where he and I are from, is part of your spirit being a fighter, and I think he can't get rid of that. He can't ever shake that. But the sport is getting a lot of these newer, younger fighters that you know, they have their youth and they're getting really good. There's people are starting to train younger. For me, I feel like, you know, BJ already made his mark. He's already in the Hall of Fame. He's already a 2-division champ. You know, he's fought from 145 all the way up to heavyweight. I don't know who else can say they've done that. But yeah, you know, I wish the best for BJ. I think he's done enough for the sport. He's done enough for Hawaii to where he can just sit back and relax. But I understand why he's a fighter. He's a warrior at heart. So I can understand why he keeps getting in there.
Yeah, good. One more. BJ is the best ever fighter. Congratulations on the win. Was there any hesitation taking this fight with the fact that you got a guy who, you know, most people didn't know a lot about, and you had to take it on like a couple days' notice?
Absolutely no hesitation whatsoever. I'm just happy to have a fight, you know, especially given the situation. You know, very rarely do people get fights when people fall out during fight week.
Right.
So, Baruch Hashem.
For sure. How did you go about kind of researching him and everything like that? Did you leave that up to your coaches?
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a few fights and yeah. So yeah.
And just him as an opponent in the cage and everything, was there anything that sort of kind of was unexpected on his end, perhaps?
His head was harder than I thought it would be. He was definitely more resilient. I landed some big shots with my right hand in the first and second round, and I wobbled him. You know, I could definitely see it in his face, but he stayed in there, and dude fought through it all, and to the very end, he fought. So for a UFC debut, you know, it says a lot about who he is and what he can do in there.
And how much does this win mean to you? I know now you're a full-time fighter. You've sort of gone all in on this. Do you feel like it's paying off?
Oh, yes, most definitely. As you can tell, I've got abs. They're not quite washboard abs yet, but with the tutelage and the training I'm going to be getting at the lab because I'm moving down there, middleweight is right around the corner. You know, the weight keeps coming off. I weighed in today at 212. I'm usually at 222, 225 fight day. I was 212 today, you know, so who knows? We'll see what happens in the future.
How do you feel fighting on the Sabbath?
I don't feel good about it at all, but it's the world we live in, right? I mean, I've been working on the Sabbath. I've been working every other Sabbath when I worked for the FAA, and in the world we live in, it's something we have to do to survive, and something I'm going to have to pay for when Mashiach returns. So.
Would you prefer fighting on a Saturday night as opposed to a
I
Friday night?
would definitely I would prefer never to fight on the Shabbat.
Yeah.
So maybe next time they offer to fight on Shabbat, I'll be like, no, I can't do it.
Did you consider doing that? Or?
I did. I definitely considered it, but the fact that I quit my job, and I needed to fight to quit my job, and when they called the fight off, it was a trying moment, but I didn't wane, I didn't worry. You know, I left it in the hands of Yahovah, and he pulled through. He brought in. There was an opponent already there, so the wheels were already in motion.
Why did you quit the job now?
Well, you know, it's not fun working 10 hours a day, and then going to try to train, get all the training you can get at night. You know, as opposed to training in the morning, coming home, getting some rest, and then going training in the evening. You know, that's how a lot of people get injured. And on top of that, you know, when I was working, I was a heavyweight. I was fat, eating and sitting and doing nothing, and I wasn't happy, you know. I'm happy now, you know. I get to wake up and work out. I'm happy. I like doing that. I get to see my family more, you know, and which is the main thing, you know. I get to see my family more, which is definitely the main thing. Spending 10 hours away from my wife and kids was never fun for me. It was just something I had to do. And with the contract I had with the UFC, with this win, you know, I'm set for the rest of the year. So I can fight 2 more times this year, and that's just extra.
How many years were you with FAA before you?
8 years?
8 years.
Yeah, from 2009 to.
Do you think the job is there for you when you come back?
Oh, I'm always have the knowledge.
Okay.
So all I have to do is update my resume and apply. So.
What did you do? Did a cage fighter?
Yeah. You know, your last fight in Brooklyn was such a big step up in competition. There was a lot of buzz surrounding you going into that fight. You were fighting a former title contender. Was that a tough pill to swallow, or did you feel like that was okay? You know, this was your chance to fight a guy. There were some lessons learned, and now you kind of go back to the drawing board. How did you take that?
That was exactly how I took it. Actually, I took it as a victory because I was able to sit in there with the number 2 or number 3 guy in the world. He took me down, yeah, because he couldn't stand with me. But when he took me down, you know, he couldn't get much off. So that gave me more confidence in my defensive jiu-jitsu, as well as in my striking.
Okay.
So with confidence, you know, comes victories. So.
And is it possible that your next fight is at 185?
I don't know. I mean, I'll bounce back and forth. So it could be, but then I'll come back to light heavyweight. It doesn't matter.
It seems like the light heavyweight division.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that, you know, just the heat of the moment. Southpaw, and I threw a kick and he checked it. It was a good check. I didn't feel it during the fight, but after the fight, that's when the pain started kicking in.
Talk about your performance overall and kind of how you felt, because it was a great fight, it was a close fight, and of course it went to a split decision. I mean, how did you feel about your performance, and were you certain that you had done enough to win?
In my head, I thought I won every round. I don't think it should have been a split decision. You know, Mark's, he has all this hype on him. I knew that he wasn't going to be as tough as everyone thought. You know, a lot of you guys probably took Mark thinking he was going to knock me out. I had to prove y'all wrong.
And last thing is just you kind of mentioned with your quotes afterwards that you were in the heat of the moment, but it seemed like there was still some tension between you and Mark as well. I mean, were you still heated? Do you still feel that way now, or was it just that moment? Is there still tension between the two of you guys?
No, there's no tension. I got my hand raised. What can he say, you know?
Hey, Jakar, it's Jim Bisauer from AZ. As a guy who's seen you come up through the ranks and seen a lot of your fights along the way, everybody who's tried to get in there and brawl with you, throw hands with you, has met the same fate that you met tonight. I didn't think it was that close on with you on that one. I thought you won all 3 rounds, but can you just take us through your evolution and the improvement, and just now that you're here on this stage, you just keep getting better and better and showing people what you're truly getting inside.
Like I said, I gotta dedicate everything to Benson Henderson, John Crouch, Eddie Chaw, all my teammates at the MMA lab, you know, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. We have a great team down there. We have something special. I know a lot of people don't believe in our team, but hey, we're up on the rise.
Where do you go from here? I mean, I know this year in particular, what are your goals for the rest of this year in the UFC?
Hopefully get one more fight and then fight in Detroit in my hometown. Or not my hometown, but my home state, you know. That's it. I just want to fight in Detroit.
It looked like to your right. Looked like the commission had a few things to say to you. What did they say to you immediately afterward, after you got in Mark's face and screamed?
They told me I was just, you know, getting a little too crazy. You know, I understand that. You know, I was just the heat of the moment. If I can go back, I would change that. You know, I would compose myself a little better.
What was it in particular? What were you feeling that made you want to do that in that moment? What is it about Mark that makes you want to, you know, go across the cage after winning the fight?
Just him just talking all week. He was talking. I think that's what he does to get in his opponent's head. He intimidates him like that. I'm a different breed. I train with Benson Henderson every day. I get beat up by him. This guy, he's not going to go in there and do that to me, you know. So,
was there a particular moment that you felt you had it?
All 15 minutes.
Question over here. Brad Tavares told us afterwards that the fighter meeting yesterday that he walked up to you and sat next to you and said that he said, I'm going to knock you out. Is that true? Did that happen?
Yeah, and after the fight, I was like, hey, I thought you were going to put me to sleep. You know, didn't happen.
Did you feel that he crossed the line this week with any of the stuff?
Yes.
And for me, do you feel like you were kind of put in this position as sort of the opponent, international fight week, it's his big American, you do all that stuff? Do you feel like the UFC was kind of setting you up to be the opponent for his star to shine a little brighter?
I'm not sure. They could put me against anyone. I'll fight Khabib. I'll fight anyone. I don't care. Just put me in there. I'm gonna get my hand raised.
Hey, Jakar, over here. Congratulations on the win. You were an underdog heading into this fight. Do you feel like this was the fight where you finally got to see, you know, this is what you're capable of, and kind of your coming out party tonight in this matchup?
Yeah, I'll be an underdog every fight. You know what I mean? That just makes me train harder. You know, I was reading everything what you guys are writing about this fight, saying Casey, whatever his name is, was gonna knock me out. You know, that just gave me the extra motivation to go in the gym and push harder. I was probably in the best shape of my life going into this fight.
And do you feel like also with your wrestling background and all that, do you feel like he overlooked that in this fight and didn't really give you the respect that you have in the wrestling skill set?
Yeah, I don't think he respects me. So it is what it is.
And just looking at the division right now, is there anyone that sort of stands out to you as the next opponent on that Detroit card? Because I know you really want to get on a show.
Whoever they give me, I'll take whoever won tonight. Or not, wait a minute.
Mark Goddard, you were saying that Mark was grabbing your glove and there was an issue with the low blow. Were there other moments where you guys were getting chippy and maybe fouling each other on purpose in there?
No, he was pretty nice, you know, like when he kneed me in my nuts, he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," you know what I mean? Like, I was kind of surprised by that.
The referee did say that he didn't grab your glove. Were you in any way trying to get attention for something that wasn't happening?
I'm pretty sure he had his fingers inside. Hey, thank you guys.
Season being called redemption, I mean, there's no more rightful winner than you. We saw, obviously, the emotion that you had tonight, how happy you were, but can you just sum up what this moment means to you?
It's very hard to put into words. I was pretty excited in there, kind of settling down now a little bit, and it's a surreal experience. Since the show, the first time around, I had 47 fights all over the world against no chumps. Every single guy was some killer or another, you know. So it's been a crazy long journey, and this is like the goal at the end, you know. But you know, this chapter is closed, and I want to make a run for it. I want to see how far I can take this ride.
Walk us through the finishing sequence, what you remember of it, what you can tell us, because you had an amazing first round, and then you come out and get dropped right away in the second, and reverse it. I mean, incredible sequence there. Do you remember all of it? How hurt were you? Walk us through it.
Well, I did the strategy of taking a punch to the head, and he came on me, and I created a scramble. So I guess the punch in the head worked because he just jumped on me, and that's kind of what I wanted. And I knew I could out-scramble with him from training with him on the show. And you know, they say it's an old trick, but I'm a rear naked choke artist. I think my jiu-jitsu is a little underestimated. I've been submitted a lot, but I think that's life, you know. And I learned slowly but surely from my mistakes, and I do what it takes to win, and I trust in my jiu-jitsu.
And you had the message in there, you know, to everybody, don't ever give up. But be honest, along the way, were there times that you almost did give up, and in that long journey getting back here that you thought, it's just not going to happen for me?
Yeah, I mean, I would go on 7, 8 fight win streaks, beating guys that ended up getting the call from the UFC. I'm like, but what about old JT here? No call, you know? But the crazy thing of it is I love to fight. I love to compete, and I told myself it takes me till I'm 60. I want to get back in UFC. And once they told me about the show, there's Tom Galicchio actually kind of was the first one to tell me. I was like, man, that's about me. And like they say, and Jim Carrey said, "Dumb and Dumber," you know, I totally redeemed myself.
That's great. Last thing for me, I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but you're not a typical tough winner. I mean, with the amount of experience that you have and what you've done, do you feel like you need to be deserved or recognized as a contender right now, or do you feel like there's work to be done?
There might be a little bit of work to be done, but I think you're right. I think I fought the best of the best. If you look at my record, guys that I lost to could very well be UFC champions. I think there's a lot of sharks at 170, but I also think it kind of was lacking some star power, and I come out of nowhere to take it all, you know. And I want to make a run for this. I want to, maybe a fight or two, but I want to get the contender status. I want to go get that belt.
Jesse, right over here to your left. Obviously, the redemption narrative is very well known for people who watched The Ultimate Fighter for many seasons. The one very high-profile mistake so many years ago, and I'm sure maybe you'd like to have not done that. But that being said, now that you know tonight for the first time what it's like to win The Ultimate Fighter, if you could take yourself back mentally all those years ago, do you think you would have really been prepared to be the Ultimate Fighter and for this moment, or this entire path of redemption, has this been important to get to this point with that level of maturity, to really be able to handle it right now?
Yeah, I think everything happens for a reason. I don't regret it. It was pretty foolish what I did, but I don't regret a thing. I think it made the story of JT Money, and I messed up, but at the same time, it made me pretty hungry to get back. And it kind of fueled that fire. Like, not a day goes by, I don't think about that. And who knows? Like, if I won back then, I might have been in and out, done with UFC. And I just kept grinding, kept plugging away, and fighting anyone, anywhere, anytime. And I think in the end, it got me a lot better, and a better fighter and person.
I was going to ask you about the improvement of your game, because all those years, if we look at the 2 seasons, you were a top contender back then, and you were dominant through this season, but you had a lot of years in between to really evolve your game. You had great veterans in your corner tonight, like Dan Henderson, Matt Brown. For the more casual fan who maybe hasn't, been able to follow you in those smaller shows these years, talk about the evolution of your game and how you're different now than you were then.
Oh man, you go everywhere, you fight anyone at a time. You have no choice to get better. And I had some tough losses here and there, but down deep, I'm a fighter. I love to do this. I take a week off, I get antsy. And it's been a crazy long journey. Tough 25 came about. Training, Dan Henderson, Team Quest before that. I ended up going to another gym, the Arena. I've been everywhere. And then on Tough 25, I reconnected with Matt Brown, who was on Tough 7 with me. And the whole journey has just been crazy. So if I never messed up that one fateful night, who knows what would have happened. So again, everything has its reason and place. And I wouldn't say I'm excited or happy that I messed up back then, but it kind of made the story come to fruition. And I'm happy where I'm at now.
Cashing in a double bonus as well. I mean, UFC debuts don't get much better than what you did tonight. Of what you're feeling right now, and just this whole experience now that you've made your UFC debut in such fashion.
On to the next one. This is awesome. That was cool. But I have something to prove here. I gotta be the best. I've been saying I'm the best in the world for a long time. So I will have another fight. Gotta start preparing now.
You touched on the octagon jitters, kind of blowing them off a little bit. Talk to me about how this whole week played out versus your expectations. I mean, the big press conferences, the added media, the potential for octagon jitters. How did everything play out versus how you thought it would be?
It was exactly how I thought, how I processed it all. Everybody in this league started somewhere else. Everybody out there is going to say, you're not good enough. You just got to take it one at a time and prove everybody wrong. Prove everybody that believes in you right. So that's what I was here for.
You had to answer the questions during your World Series career, and after a fight like tonight, I'm sure you'll have to answer it more. I mean, how long can you keep fighting like this when you put yourself through something like that?
I mean, did you guys watch all the fights tonight? We punch each other in the face. That's what we do. I haven't lost. I haven't got knocked out cold. So this isn't boxing. I don't get. When I do go to sleep, I won't get 10 seconds to get back up. You recover. Michael Bisping got flying H-bomb. He's back. He's the champion now. So I don't know how long I can do it. I don't want to do it forever. So I got probably, one at a time. So I really don't know.
And you said you're trying to find your equal. I mean, it's an interesting time in your division in the UFC right now. So is there anything that does make sense? Is there a name in particular that makes sense?
Whoever gets me closer to an interim title right now. McGregor's not here, so I'm going to get that interim title on my waist, and when he comes back, pressure people. You think you can take it? He has a fantastic left hand. If he touches me with it, I'll go to sleep. If not, you saw what happened to me. He's never been finished before. I finished him in the second round. He almost finished me. Big John said he was going to stop it. I was there. I don't know what. He's great at what he does. He said I was, obviously when I got smoked, I was, a little dazed. But you get punched in the face. Like I said, I got the biggest heart. I'm the most violent guy in this division. I'll prove it time and time again. Every time I've been, fight of the year for now, I'll fight again. That won't be considered fight of the year. I can take the most boring fighter and put him in that fight right there. So that's what I do. I'm an entertainer.
Hey, Justin, over here. Right here. Congratulations on the win. This is the fight that people have been talking about all weekend, including UFC 213, but it sounds like you don't feel like people were giving you maybe the respect you wanted leading up to the fight. Is that accurate?
Probably, but, sport is the way it is. I had to prove myself at the highest level. I knew from day one with the coaches that I had, started wrestling at 4 years old. I've never taken a year off. No one has worked longer or harder than me. and it has to be somebody. So why not me? I'll have that outlook every single day.
Is there anything about Michael that surprised you in the fight tonight?
No. I knew it was going to be a good fight. I knew he was going to be dangerous in the first round. I knew the leg kicks were going to add up. He's going to have a hard time sleeping comfortably for a couple nights, for a couple weeks. I'm there to break people. I said I would drop him and I'd let him up. That's what I did.
And stylistically, what are your thoughts on a matchup with Tony Ferguson?
That's what I want. Michael Johnson whooped his ass, so I'll break him. Guaranteed.
How you celebrating?
Call me a liar all you want.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to ask, how are you celebrating tonight after a big win like this?
Just spend time with my family. Get ready for the next one. Now that I won, got a target on my back. Got to get the interim title, so I got a huge target on my back. I thrive under those lights, and I will every time.
Is there anyone in the top 5 that you fear that you like one by one? Like very confident?
No, I don't fear anybody. Not my weight. No. If I do, I should probably quit now, huh?
How's those people going down towards the end of the first round?
Don't think I was very. He needed to land another one of the shots that he did, probably. But once he hit me, I definitely the flash me, and all of a sudden, I was back in it, just like that. Started rolling with the punches, started swinging my hooks on the inside. I gotta watch it. Every single fight I've ever been in, I never know what happens. I walk to the corner and I ask if I did a good job. So I have no idea. I was so happy to be in there. I was so happy to be in the back. I was so happy to be walking to the octagon. I was so happy to hear everybody chant my name. I'm happy. This makes me happy. It really does. But you cannot look ahead. I'm not infallible. Never will be. I will lose, like I said. I'm not scared to get knocked out. I'm not scared to lose. I'm scared not to perform. And I'll take every single day towards the next fight to get ready for it.
And final question for me. You said you want to try to get to that belt as quick as possible. Would you take that belt or ready fight with Nate Diaz?
Of course. Nate? Yeah, of course I would. Yeah, he don't like leg kicks. I kick pretty hard.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you tell us, first of all, what your twin does? Is he a fighter as well?
No, my whole family is a bunch of copper miners. I'm from a very, very small town, and it's 2 hours. If you want to go anything but a Walmart, you got to drive 2 hours. Yep, that's where I'm from. I inspire everybody that's from there. Thank God. I have a human services degree. My job is what I want to do in life is inspire people, help people. It's very rewarding. That is rewarding for me. Right now, I'm doing it through violence. Kind of ironic, but I really enjoy it.
Can I just ask you about that? There's human services degree you're doing, and you want to work with that.
Best parents that a person could ask for. They've done anything and everything, put themselves in debt just to give me the opportunities that I had when I was a kid. When I got to college, I had a couple friends that did not have that, and just having conversations, learning about them. It took one person, my friend Rocco DeBello, did not. I'm not going to tell his personal life, but he had something that influenced him in a positive manner, and it changed his whole life. Especially now with the platform that I have, now I can reach 4 out of 10 or 4 out of 20 instead of 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20. Like I said, it's very rewarding for me.
Is it because where you live there isn't really work for a lot of young people? Is that why you witnessed that kind of get to drop?
No, I left there and went to Greeley, Colorado to wrestle. That's where it's hard. It's hard to where I'm from. You can't really open your eyes unless you leave. And so when I got there was a lot of things that opened my eyes. There's a big world out there. And where I'm from is not big. Usually you work for the copper mine, which is very noble, very stable. So, I don't know.
Congratulations on your 2 bonuses in the fight of the year so far.
Thank you. Like I said, the next fight will be the fight of the year.
Hey, Justin, back here.
So you sit from a small town, and obviously there's a lot of action going on in the ring, a lot of action outside the ring in the crowd. I just want to know if you've heard the crowd and heard how they got behind you, obviously as you were going back.
I'm so in the moment that no, I didn't. In between rounds, obviously, when I started, that's when I really heard them. But I'm so in the moment. I'm flying off adrenaline. I do not have the thought process in there. I can't because it's just the way I fight. I pressure people. You think you can take it, but if you don't put me down, your heart rate is just going out the roof. You cannot take it.
And you said as much yesterday that he was a poser at the weigh-in, so can you comment about being with the game?
I mean, he's saying I'm scared, saying I'm nervous, saying I don't belong. I knew what was going to happen. I really honestly knew what was going to happen. I believed in myself. I mean, I guess I didn't, you never know in this sport. Like I said, it's so unforgiving. But I was very confident in my skills. I'm confident in my coach. No one's worked harder or longer than me. I've said it many times. 4 years old, I never took a day off. I never took a year of wrestling off, so I don't know. And I really had a lot of fun in that.
Justin, to follow up on the crowd reaction, because it really was tremendous. And a lot of people who make their UFC debuts are tasked with trying to make fans aware of who they are. It's an enviable position to not have to do that, kind of no introduction needed. Did you know that you were going to have that level of support, that many people were there to support you? Did you feel that all week? Or?
I did, yeah. So every fight I've fought close to, so like I said, small town. Vegas is a 8-hour car ride, 7-hour car ride, 7 or 8 hours, I don't know, I haven't done it in a long time. I've been coming here to wrestle since I was 6 years old, almost every year, to wrestle in national tournament, big tournaments, so I knew, I mean, if I could have kept track of tickets, I sold at least probably 600 to 800 tickets.
Vamos a la bonita, todos a comprar todo. Recuerda que en la bonita encuentras lo que en tu tierra. Mercado y carnicería La Bonita, con gusto y una sonrisa te esperamos. Recuerda que La Bonita es la mejor cita, en alta calidad y bajos precios.
Ven y disfruta del auténtico sabor mexicano. El Chamizal te ofrece gran variedad de platillos con un sabor inigualable. El exquisito molcajete Pancho Villa, el caldo Siete Mares, el riquísimo aguachile, el super cóctel de camarón, la exótica cecina de venado y una gran variedad de mariscos. Te esperamos.
San Pedro Store, ahora más grande que nunca. San Pedro Store, ofreciendo gran variedad en productos naturales como rábano yodado, Vital Fuerte, Bedoyecta, Vitacilina, Neurobión, Sucrol, Cicloferón, crema, champú Crece, champú de Chile, champú para los piojos. San Pedro Store con 5 localidades. Estamos al norte de la Ranch, esquina con Washington, a un lado del Chamizal. Para más información llama al 638-2666. ¡Es San Pedro Store! ¡Ahora, tío Gume!
Cuando la sombra del mal nos acecha, Spider-Man, The Avengers y los más grandes superhéroes de Marvel se unen a los Guardianes de la Galaxia para una legendaria batalla. No te pierdas ni un solo explosivo momento. Marvel Universe Live Age of Heroes.
Boletos desde $20. No te lo pierdas con tu familia en vivo del 27 al 30 de julio en el Thomas & Mack Center.
Soy el abogado Michael Harker y yo puedo ayudarle a reducir el principal de su propiedad.
En la actualidad los precios de las casas están devaluados y ya se activó el nuevo plan para reducir su principal. Si recibió no tipo en la puerta de su casa, tiene 30 días para responder y detener el foreclosure. También realizamos bancarrota capítulos 7, 13 y 11.
Usted lo sabe, puede confiar en nosotros. Haga una cita ahora en nuestra nueva oficina.
En la firma del abogado Michael G. Harker le asesoramos porque es su derecho.
Es temporada de taxes y muchas veces no sabemos a dónde acudir. Luis tuvo una mala experiencia en el 2011. Por tratar de ganar el sorteo de una camioneta, no recibió su reembolso, pero sí una auditoría. Y en el 2012 le prometieron $10,000 que nunca recibió y lo estafaron cobrándole $500 por su preparación. Miles de contribuyentes son víctimas de fraude cada año. TaxMax te da más. Te ofrecemos tu estimado gratis. Visítanos o llámame al 943-8886.